SixStringBluesDotCom. Today we're going to take a look at the Epiphone ES-339 Pro. Now if you're not familiar with the 339 model of the Epiphone or the Gibson model guitars, it is basically very similar to an ES-335, except with the 339 models they feature a reduced size laminated body. This particular Epiphone here has a maple body. It has a solid center block down the middle, similar to the ES-335, which help reduce feedback at loud volumes, or else if you're standing close to your amp, which you would get feedback with a hollow body guitar. So as a semi-hollow body guitar, once again it just has a solid center block down the middle. The neck on here is actually a slim taper, what they call a D profile neck from Epiphone, and it actually has a mahogany neck. Great, this is the cherry finish, so the finish on here is absolutely phenomenal considering the price that you pay for the guitar, and also for the fact that it is a China-made guitar. Not to disrespect the China guitars at all, but for a large number of years people would steer away from the China-made guitars because they were considered to be very cheap. But basically with the new Epiphones that they have out there on the market, the China guitars have greatly improved. And I highly suggest picking one up if you're looking for a budget-friendly guitar or else a gig-worthy guitar that's under $400. Features the the Grover Deluxe tuners with the cool vintage green shading to them, which I absolutely love. The reason I picked up this particular guitar is because of the pickup configuration. Now these pickups are basically the Alnico Classic Pro humbuckers from Epiphone, but the cool thing about this guitar, it does feature coil tapping. So if you're not familiar with coil tapping, basically what this allows me to do with the two volume controls, if they're pushed down, I get the characteristics of a humbucker guitar. And if I want to get the single coil sound or do coil tapping, I can basically lift up on the volume control and it turns whatever volume control I pull up on, it turns that pickup into a single coil. So combine that with the three-way toggle switch, you get all sorts of tonal capabilities with this guitar. Whether you want a cool sound, single coil sound of a Stratocaster, or else if you want the warm sound of a humbucker, or the bright sound of a humbucker with an bridge position. Now with this particular ES-339 Pro guitar, I absolutely love the humbucker positions that it comes with. I think the single coils are a little bit weak, but they are cool for playing some cool rhythm stuff. It probably wouldn't compare to a higher end single coil pickup, but of course you can always change that by swapping out the pickups. But with this particular stock model here, like I said, my personal preference is in the humbucker position, but in the single coil position it has some great sounds for playing rhythm, funk, or anything like that, or even lead for that matter. Now for today's setup here, I am in my main guitar studio here at Six String Blues, and basically on my right side here I have a Fender Deluxe 65 Deluxe Reverb reissue. I'll say that 5 times in a row, but it's a Fender 65 Deluxe Reverb reissue. I believe this is around a 1990 or so model. I absolutely love that amp. On my left side over here I am playing a Lewis Electric Buster amp, which is basically a copy of a Fender Tweed Deluxe. Lou Rizano builds these amps out of New Jersey, and they're a great amp. So I highly suggest checking those out too. Basically puts out about 20 watts of power. I have mine set to about 18 watts of power that it's outputting right now. I'll show you my pedal board later, but basically I'm playing through a Jamman stereo looper pedal, which allows me to use my single cable here to output to 2 different amps, which is a cool sound if you have multiple amps and you want to play through 2 at the same time. I do have the reverb shut off on my Fender Deluxe reissue because I do have a 63 Fender reverb pedal from Boss, which allows me to add reverb to my Lewis Electric Buster, which does not include a reverb. So I'm going to go ahead and play a couple of riffs here, and I'm going to go ahead and go through the different tonal capabilities of this guitar, and then I'm going to go ahead and play along with my looper pedal so you can hear what this guitar would sound like with a track going. So I'm going to start off with the humbucker position on both pickups. Now my personal playing preference is I do not have my controls wide open when I play guitar. I usually roll off, usually down between 6 and 7 on the volume controls on my guitar just to get the sound that I desire. A little bit too bright when you have it all the way up in my opinion, and I like a much warmer sound. So I'm going to go ahead and play a rhythm and a little bit of lead so you can hear each tonal position, and then I'll go ahead and play with the looper pedal. So this is the bridge pickup in the humbucker position, and I'm going to play a little bit of rhythm here. So that's with the humbucker position. I'm going to go ahead and pull up on the bottom volume control, which gives me turning my humbucker in the bridge position into a single coil. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and push down on that volume control now. I'm going to go ahead and go into the middle position. So right now both pickups are in the humbucker position with the middle position, so both pickups are on. That's a great sounding middle position with both pickups on. I'm going to go ahead and lift up on both volume controls now so you can hear what it would sound like with a single coil in the middle position. Really great for rhythm. I don't really like to play lead in this single coil middle position. So now I'm going to go ahead and push the top pickup or the neck pickup in the humbucker position. Go ahead and push down on the middle position. So it's both pickups are in the middle position with both pickups on. Alright, so now I'm going to go up and go into the neck pickup in the humbucker position. So that's in the humbucker position. Once again, all sorts of tonal capabilities of this. So basically I'm going to go ahead and play a looper track here. I'm going to go ahead and lay down a basic rhythm and play some lead over it. Now I'll switch through the different pickup combinations so you can hear the tonal possibilities of this guitar. this is the ES-339 Pro from Epiphone. Great $400 guitar, so if you're looking for a great guitar for that price, I highly recommend checking one of these out. They basically revamped the whole Epiphone line with the ES models, and there's all sorts of models between the Sheraton, the 335, the 339, all sorts of great guitars that you'll find under 400 bucks. So once again, the ES-339 Pro from Epiphone. They do make this in an Ultra, which has an added bridge pickup that gives you a little bit more of a classic or acoustic type jazz sound to it. So that is a great guitar upon itself. But this is the 339 Pro. Highly recommend checking one out. Thank you for watching.